What up, it's your Tim is here. Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turned 10, 20, and 30 this week. Alright, the films celebrating their 10th anniversary, we got Divergent, which, of course, if you guys don't know, this was actually based on a very popular YA novel of the same name. They were trying to make this thing obviously become the next YA adaptation, like obviously, we had like, the Twilight films. They were trying to find the next Hunger Games, which you know, which became popular, and also, obviously, Divergent was the next YA adaptation they were trying to make. Now, the first Divergent, which had Shailene Woodley, Ansel Elgort, Dio James, who else? Oh yeah, Maz Teller was in this. Now, if you guys don't know anything about Divergent, the story takes place in a dystopian and post-apocalyptic Chicago where people are divided into distant factions based on human virtues. Patrice Pryor is one that she is divergent and thus will never fit into any one of the factions. She soon learns that a sinister plot is brewing in a seemingly perfect society. Now, the first Divergent was actually pretty decent. I actually didn't mind it. The sequels, yeah, they were whatever. But they never really finished the franchise. Like, of course, the other ones were Allegiant, then there was the Surgeon, and they never really finished. Yeah, it's a little bit of a hard story, but they never really finished the whole trilogy. So, yeah, and obviously Shane Willie's a little more popular now since Miles Teller became pretty popular. So, yeah, I don't think we're ever gonna get any more diversions, but. Anyway, also turning 10, we got Muppets Most Wanted, which I admit isn't as good as the 2011 Muppets movie, which that Muppet movie from 2011, with Jason Segel, Amy Adams. I really enjoyed that first Muppet. Obviously, the first Muppet movie came out like in 1970s, but I'm talking about like the relaunch of the Muppets for 2011. Again, Muppet Most Wanted wasn't as good as that one, but I still quite enjoy it a lot. Definitely had some fun music. Maybe not as memorable, but this is actually the last Muppet movie to ever come to theaters, by the way, which is insane. I really wonder if like people really care about the Muppets anymore. I mean, it's a shame. It's kind of a shame because, of course, Disney Plus was trying to relaunch the Muppets. They had that Muppet Mayhem, which got canceled. uh, ABC also had that Muppet, like that Office type show, The Muppets, which I actually quite enjoyed, but that didn't really last too long. Then Muppets Most Wanted, which I can still consider was they gave a really terrible release date to this thing. Like the one from 2011, they released that thing in November, which obviously that's a perfect time because around Thanksgiving and all. But some reason they thought it was a good idea to release this thing in the middle of March, and didn't make as much. But anyway, that aside, now if you guys don't know much about Muppets Most Wanted, this was also once again directed by James Bobbin, who I thought did a great job. He also had Ricky Gervais, Ty Burrell, Tina Fey, Christoph Watts, Zach Galifianakis popped up in this, Lady Gaga, Tony Bennett. Yeah, obviously Jason Segel and Amy Adams did not return for it, but of course Walter appears. So that's cool. Now, if you guys don't know much about the story for Muppets Most Wanted, the story tells how the Muppets became involved in an international crime caper while on a world tour in Europe. And of course, Kermit the Frog ends up getting arrested in the Russia prison, and he has and there's like a cool music number with him, Ray Liotta, uh, who else? Oh yeah, Danny Trejo. I would imagine, Machete and Harry Hill from Goodfellas doing a musical number with Kermit the Frog. Never will I ever expect that. I think Hornswoggle was in that one too. So again, it's not as good as the 2011 Muppets film, but I still enjoyed it a lot. I would love to have seen another Muppet movie, but I really, yeah, I mean, we still get Muppet stuff here and there, but it's been a while since we got an actual Muppet film for theirs. Like, yeah. Anyway, also turning 10. This might be a little bit of an unpopular one, but we got God's Not Dead. Now, God's Not Dead was directed by Harold Cronk. And if you guys don't know much about the story, it is a Christian film based on a book where, like, evidence in God in an age of a Cersei. The film follows a Christian college student played by Shane Harper, whose faith is challenged in a misogynist philosophy professor, played by Kevin Sorbo. You might know her from as Hercules, who declares God a pre-scientific fiction. Now, this was actually from Perflix, who actually is very popular in the Christian lore. And you also had other folks like who else was in this? Oh yeah, Dean Kane was also in this. This one didn't like this and God's Not That True. Both did not really get much love or anything. I did not mind God's Not That. I thought it was really it was pretty decent. I like some of the cast members. Christian movies to me could be a hit and miss, but this wasn't so bad in my opinion. Now, God's Not That True I enjoyed as well. God's Not Dead 3 definitely was pretty terrible. God's Not Dead 4, I can't remember if I seen that or not. But yeah, that's right. They make about not one, but four God's Not Dead movies. Although the best thing about these, I will say, is probably the title song of God's Not Dead. That is actually a very catchy song. All right. Now, also Turning 10 is a movie that might not many people probably heard of called Rob the Mob. Now, I actually remember watching this one in theaters back in 2014. Here's the now. Rob the Mob starred Michael Pitt, Nina Aranda, Andy Garcia, Jeremy Allen White was also in this right before he became popular with the Bear. Now, if you guys don't know much about the true story about this, it's about these two these two couples who decide to rob the mafia, and they get it ends in very badly towards the end. This is actually a really cool little film. Crazy to believe this is based on a true story. Michael Pitt is really an actor that I think would should have became like a hot name star. Like I literally always thought he could have been the next Leo DiCaprio. He had the looks of it and all. Like if you guys don't know Michael Pitt, like he's been in movies like The Dreamers. He was in, uh, he was in that Ghost in the Shell. I believe he was on Boardwalk Empire. I always wondered why he's never like broken out as a mainstream star, but. Like he always had like the face of a movie star, and like I always thought he could have like literally been the next Leo, but guess not. All right, now films turning 20 this week. We got Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. Years before Ariana Grande put out her Eternal Sunshine music video, 20 years ago this week, Michelle Gondry gave us a drama with Jim Carrey. Now I remember watching this film like years ago. I was like, I still could not believe how great Jim Carrey could do when he does drama. I mean, if you guys don't know much about the story of Eternal Sunshine, you have the likes of Kate Winslet, Kirsten Dunst, Mark Ruffalo, Elijah Wood, Tom Wilkinson, and the film follows two individuals who undergo a procedure to erase each other from their memories, following a dissolution of their relationship. The film became a cult classic in the years since its release. And it's a really decent flick. Jim Carrey is great in this. Like his chemistry with Kate Winslet. Like I've always loved Kate Winslet's like colored hair in this. That was pretty cool there. Uh, and this was really the movie. Like he's done drama before, like Men on the Moon and all. But this was really show that Jim Carrey is not just a funny guy we know from stuff like The Mask or Dumb and Dumber or anything like that. He could do some drama really well, and here really showed it. I mean, if you guys have not seen Eternal Sunshine, do yourself a favor, go check it out. It's a really excellent little film. Worth checking out. All right. On top of it was written by Charlie Kaufman, so one more cast there. All right. Also turning 20, we got Dawn of the Dead, which is a remake of the George A. Romero film, and this was actually the first film directed by Zack Snyder, who obviously will make a name for himself with stuff like Man of Steel, 300, Watchmen, Rebel Moon. And this movie also saw the likes of Sarah Polley, Ving Rhames, Guy Pfeiffer, Tom Savini, Ty Burrell was in this like years before Modern Family fame. And the film follows a group of survivors who take refuge in a upscale suburban shopping mall during a zombie apocalypse. And while this is nowhere near as good as the original George A. Romero one, this is a really awesome like remake. Obviously, early 2000s, they were really keen on doing remakes of iconic horror films, like obviously Halloween, Friday the 13th. And of course, we had Dawn of the Dead. And of course, Ving Rhames was great in this. Sarah Polley, obviously, before she became, she won an Oscar for directing, or not directing, for writing, I should say. She did a great job. She was pretty good in this. It's like the blood effects was cool. Zack Snyder. I would love to, like, of course, years later he will go on to go back to the zombie world again with Army of the Dead, which was pretty good too. So, yeah, if you guys have not seen Dawn of the Dead, I would say give it a go. It's a really decent, like a really decent remake. We'll check it out. All right, also turning 20, we got Taking Lives. Now, this is a psychological thriller directed by DJ Caruso, who you might know directed movies like Eagle Eye. He gave us what else did he do? DJ Caruso. Oh yeah, he did Disturbia, which was pretty decent. Uh, he did Redeeming Love, which wasn't so good. The Supreme Room was pretty terrible. Also, he's done some hit and misses. Now, this also stars Angelina Jolie and Ethan Hawke, with the likes of Kiefer Sutherland and Jenna Rollins. The film centers on an enigmatic serial killer who takes on the identity of his victims. And this definitely has like that bit of a Seven vibe here. Definitely has like that Silence of the Lambs vibe, but it's a really decent flick worth checking out. The chemistry between Jolie and Hawk was pretty good. Uh, Lots of crazy twists and turns around. It's a really decent film if you guys haven't seen it. All right, also turning 20, we got Intermission. Now, this is an Irish black comedy directed by Brooklyn director John Crowley. Um, and it also stars the likes of Colin Farrell, Cillian Murphy, obviously years before his Oscar win, Shirley Henderson. And here's the film is set in Dublin, Ireland. It contains many interconnected storylines and is shot in a documentary-like style, and some sections presented in as experts from television program that exists within the show. One of the storylines follows the television documentary director. And the cast in this is pretty decent. Colin Farrell obviously is always amazing. Kelly McDonald, you might remember her from like Boardwalk Empire, Brave fame. She's pretty good. Really decent little fuck if you guys haven't seen that one. All right, now films turning 30 this week. We got Naked Gun 33 1 slash 3.5. The final insult. Now, this, of course, once again has Leslie Nielsen and is the third installment of the Naked Gun franchise. Once again, you got Leslie Nielsen, who plays Police Squad Lieutenant Frank Drebin, who is retired and spending time with his new wife, Jane, played by Priscilla Presley. And when he's called back into action by Cap Ed Hogan, played by George Kennedy, a terrorist named Rocco, played by Fred Ward, plans to bomb the Academy Awards ceremony. So Frank goes undercover as Phil Donahue to try and head off a disaster. He causes almost as much trouble as he prevents in an Oscar show, complete with over the top production numbers and celebrity appearances. And this does have lots of celebrity appearances. Like we're talking appearances by Vanna White, Weird Al Yankovic, Alan Green, James L. Jones, Olivia DeCostas, Kathleen Freeman. I mean, lots of celebrities you probably know and love. Or actually popped up. Now, of course, Naked Gun's been in the news lately because they are remaking it with Liam Neeson. I wonder if they'll actually, remake all of them, including this one. That will be really interesting. Well, obviously, let's be real. The sequel to Naked Guns isn't as crazy. This isn't a bad follow-up, though. Definitely is very dumb, but it does have, like, its, definitely has some of its moments and all. Still pretty entertaining. I mean, seeing Priscilla Presley and Leslie Nielsen as a couple, What more you could ask for? So not a bad one there. All right, also turning 30, we got The Paper. Now, this is directed by Ron Howard and stars the likes of Micah Keaton, Robert Duvall, Glenn Close, Marissa Tomei, Jason Alexander, Catherine O'Hara, Randy Quaid. And the film depicts a hectic 24-hour in a newspaper editor's professional and personal life. The main story of the day is two businessmen found murdered in a parked car in New York City. The reporters discover a police cover-up of evidence that the teenage suspects in custody are innocent, and rush to scoop the story in the midst of professional, private, and financial chaos. And of course, this is not like Ron Howard's best work or anything, but this is really this. I mean, definitely, who does not love a good reporting-based movie? Mikey Keaton's great. I believe it actually scored a couple of Oscar nominations, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there. But obviously, a great cast, from Mikey Keaton to Robert Duvall. Really, like, definitely has that bit of a All the President's Man vibe and all that. So, really decent flick if you guys haven't seen that one. And last but not least, turning 30, we got Monkey Trouble. Now, this stars a very young Dora Birch along with Chris McDonough, Harvey Keitel, Victor Argo, Mimi Rogers, and is where Dodger, a criminal monkey, belongs to a crooked street performer, but escapes his life of crime, only to end up in the arms of Eva, a innocent little girl whose mother has no idea her daughter is harboring a fugitive. And this is not like a great film or anything. I actually remember watching this as a kid. It's been it's been decades since I've seen this. I remember watching this one as a kid. It's sort of a childhood favorite. Dora Birch obviously was very popular in the early '90s. Like she was a little sister in Hocus Pocus. Remember, she was also in the movie Now and Then. So obviously, she became like more prominent in the early '90s and all. And she was pretty decent in this. Mimi Rogers is great. Chris McDonough, obviously, you might remember him from Happy Gilmore fame. He's always great. Harvey Keitel, seeing him doing like a family comedy was always good. So, not a bad flick if you guys have seen this one. Anyway, let me let you guys. Oh, which of these films stand out to you the most? Let's see. To me, the 10-year one obviously is going to go to Muppets Most Wanted. The 21, the 20-year one for me will go to Eternal Sunshine, and the 30-year one is going to Paper Town. Oh, not Paper Town. Totally different movie. The Paper on that. Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. This is Simon signing off.